the solution for this example. So the first thing we want to do is calculate the total sales. So the way we do that is we start our calculation with the equal sign, and then what we can do is we can click on these. So I'm going to say equals. Please Excel, go look at that cell. So you'll see it's typed as C7 in there. And then we must push multiply and by the selling price. Now remember, it's very important, click the enter key to enter that calculation. Don't click somewhere else. Click enter and you'll get a number. What we can now do is I can copy that number, that formula, highlight these cells, and in this case I'm going to right click and paste them. And what you'll see is that calculation I had, C7 times C8, is applied here, but as it moves across it now says D7 times D8, etc. This one was just a simple link. All we wanted to do was say equals, so we start the calculator, but all we're going to say is look at that cell. In this case what I'm going to do is I'm just going to type C9 and then click enter. So what you'll see, all it's doing is it's looking there. Now what I'm going to do is copy it across, and this time I'm going to use another method to copy. Can you see here I'm going to go to the bottom right corner where I get that cursor, so not this one here, that one there. I click and hold and I drag it across and it gives me the sales number. The cost of sales percentage, I'm going to say equals how much did we sell multiplied by our percentage. When I click enter, you'll see you get an answer. I'm going to go here. This time I'm going to use another way to copy. I'm going to right click and say copy, highlight those cells there, and we're going to say paste. The gross profit now, we know it needs to be cost of sales less sales, or the other way around, sales minus cost of sales. I've at the moment entered cost of sales as a positive number, so the formula is equals that cell minus that cell. Click enter. I'm going to copy that, and using my shortcut CTRL V, I'm going to paste it. We've now got the fixed expenses, and we said those are going to continue for the rest of the period. So in this cell here I'm going to say equals the cell before. If I now copy that and paste it, each cell is just looking at the cell before. So if we had to change that to, let's say, 200, that will change to 200, which means that changes to 200, etc. Net profit equals that cell minus that cell. Copy, paste that. Then we've got the tax rate. Now this is going to learn how to address it a bit later, but for now let's just use our standard method. Equals our net profit multiplied by the tax rate. If I click enter, it tells me 316. If I copy it and put it next door, can you see it's given us a 0? So if you look carefully at the formula, it's now saying D19 over here, which is correct, times C21. So now instead of looking at that tax rate there, it's moved one across. So unfortunately it means that we're actually going to have to do this manually. That multiplied by B21. When I go to the next one, it's equal to that multiplied by B21. So notice each time we're moving the net profit we're looking at, but we keep going back to that B21. And that's going to become important in one of our next lessons. Okay, and then our net profit after tax is equals to that number minus that number. I'm going to copy it and paste it, and you'll see what we've come up with matches what the answer should be. We then asked to total the formulas. Now what we could do, but it's a bit tedious, is go equals that plus that plus that plus that. So you could do it that way and click your enter. But a better way to do it is you've learned the sum function. So you're going to say equals sum open bracket. And now you need to tell Excel where to look. And we show it by click and hold and then drag it across. And I can then close the bracket. So what we're telling Excel is that you want to perform a sum on the cell C7 to H7. When I click enter, I get my answer. I'm now going to copy this, and because there's already formatting here, instead of just pasting it, we're going to use one of our paste specials. So I'm going to right click and I'm going to say just paste the formula. So you'll see this means that I don't have to redo all the formatting. You'll see this matches what the total should be. So now we have the monthly amounts and what it adds up to for the 6-month period. Although you haven't learnt it, there's a function in Excel called average, which works out the average, and it works exactly the same as sum. So I'm going to type equals. If I write the word average and open the bracket, you'll see it looks exactly the same. So I'm going to point here and highlight it. And I'll close the bracket. And you'll see it gives me a number. And the same logic, I'm going to paste just the formulas so that we don't have to mess with the and you'll see these match all the answers and what they should be.